what it do?
You are now keying
In with the one and only Kiki Simone as she lock in with the dopest
Christian hip hop,
gospel and inspirational artists from all over. Bringing you the dopest, exclusive interviews that you get here and only here first. Powered by yours truly
Live Loud Legacy.
and Visionary Vision.
Qui'N In. Hello, and welcome to Qui'N In. I'm your girl, Kiki Simone, and I am so excited to be with you on this day. It's a beautiful day today. I'm so excited because I have the wonderful opportunity to really introduce a person that I've kind of really been following the last few weeks, and this person is absolutely, when I tell y'all absolutely phenomenal, I mean, I'm still learning from her. I'm just saying, I'm still learning from her. And I want to bring her to you all because she is definitely one of those individuals that you're just like, oh, can I get more? Can I get more? So without further ado, I want to introduce to you all the wonderful, the beautiful, the mom, the wife, the woman of God, the sister in Christ, Miss TK Lee. How you doing, lady?
I am so good. I'm so excited to be here. I'm like jittery in the chair. Like I love these things. So it is an honor to be here. I'm super thankful to be with you.
I'm digging the fact that we're both in pink. And we didn't plan it. We did not plan this. And let me ask you this first, TK, before I get into anything. Where are you from?
I am from Kansas City, Missouri. A real small city. Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I grew up I think most people would consider it the country. Like, it's very, very, very small. I am a country girl. So, Kansas City. You know the Kansas City cheese? Mm-hmm. That's my hometown.
That's my team.
Okay, yes.
We won this year. We won the Super Bowl. I'm excited. Okay, this is so dope.
Yes.
Now,
I'm not a sports girl, though. So
really?
Nah, I like going to the games just to like be in the environment. But I try my best. Like when my husband's watching games, I'm trying. I'm not a football girl. Now basketball, I can get with it.
Okay,
basketball because it's more fast paced. You know, it's just a different grit to it. But football gets a little boring to me. But I'm gonna still rock for my hometown.
Okay, well, who you got for basketball? Let me see who you got.
Girl, nobody.
You just like the game.
I just like the game. I could watch the actual Lakers to the small city teams. So when I grew up, I was in high school, I was on the step team. So I had to be at all the basketball games.
Okay.
So I just grew a love from, high school ages. So yeah, there ain't nothing specific.
Okay. I love football and I love basketball. It's just, I don't know. It's something about those two sports that I just absolutely just can't. I don't know. It's the adrenaline with it. But the Warriors are my team, and we just got put out by the Lakers. So,
oh wow!
But it's okay though. It's okay. We gonna regroup. But
I think your husband loves that you are a sports girl. That's so bomb.
I hope he does. Well, you know what? I think I'm more of a sports person than he is. So
wow,
yeah, he's on my bandwagon. TK, he's on my bandwagon. And I can say that because I'm on camera and he's not. So
okay,
right, babe. Okay. Now, TK, you said you're from a little small town in Kansas City, Missouri, and did you have a big family, or are you the only child, or?
No, I am the youngest of 4 girls.
Wow.
So it is, and I'm like super young. Like I'm like 13 years apart from my sisters.
Wow.
She's like 13 and then like 15. Yeah, I'm like, it almost felt like they were my aunties because we were so far in age. But yes, I am the youngest of 4 sisters.
Okay.
Daughters.
Okay. That's what's, I know that might, no, you said you were kind of far in age. I was going to say, how was that growing up with that many females in the house? But it's kind of far. So, but that's okay. Did you were you ever a person that kind of dreamt a lot or had a big imagination? And I know I was a girl who I wanted to change my name because nobody could ever say it right. Did you ever think about that ever before in your life? Want to change your name?
No, I love my name.
Okay.
And it's funny because I haven't been called my actual real name, which is Takesha, until recently. So I've been called TK most of my life.
Okay.
And I'm like, I've been slowly trying to get people to actually call me Takesha. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know TK would take over like this. I have a real name. I love my first name. I do. I actually love it.
Well, I didn't even. Well, I was lightweight stalking you, trying to figure out stuff about you for the episode. But
okay, yeah.
But I did know what your name was, and I didn't know that you would have preferred Takesha instead of TK. So, is it okay if I call you Takesha then?
Yeah, I mean, you can call me both.
Okay.
I feel like people that I just am meeting, and most of the time people know me from music.
Right.
So everyone that knows me from music is calling me TK. It's not, I'm not stopping people. I am trying to get in the habit of introducing myself as my full name and not my rap name. I'm like, I must have been watching some video on etiquette, and it was like, the first thing was not introducing yourself as a nickname. And I'm like, I have been doing that for so long, like just TK. I'm like, I need to stop doing that. My name is Takesha.
And and it sounds good when you say it too.
Thank you.
Now, I know that you are a married woman, as I stated to our viewers earlier. Now, from your marriage, from a female perspective, I'm sure there's tons of things that you've probably learned from being married to your husband, because all husbands are not the same. Everybody has different wants and needs. What do you think you've learned most about yourself being married to your husband?
Oh, quite a bit. So I met my husband when I was 21, and prior to him, I had only had one serious relationship. So my husband is the relationship, the biggest serious relationship, and my husband is also 8 years older than me. So he's lived a little bit longer, had 2 kids before we got together. He was engaged before we got together. So there's a lot of wisdom and insight that he carries, and he has taught me so much. And one of the biggest thing, and I say this all the time on my podcast, on everywhere that I talk, on anyone's panel, is that he has encouraged me to go on a journey of self-awareness. When I entered into my marriage, baby, you couldn't tell me nothing was wrong with me. Like, I'm a young girl, real cute, small. Like, I got the body, I got the brains, I am intelligent, I am talented, and I'm anointed. On top of that, like, I ain't scared of demons.
Right,
what you need, I can cast it out, I can cook. And so I came into the marriage, I mean, obviously young and immature, but also lacking such a deep self-awareness. I just lacked it. And it was one thing, he just led me on this journey of not like you need to know yourself, but encouraging me to realize that there's a wisdom in actually knowing your flaws, the issues that you have. And because I would be oblivious, like in times that he would try to correct me, I'm like, I don't do that. No, that's not my problem. Who are you talking about? And after just years of his patience, and my own, walk with the Lord, I'm realizing that there is so much beauty, as the Bible talks about, not focusing on your friends, the speck in their eye, and getting the log out of yours, and minding your business, as the Bible says. That's been the biggest blessing, is just focusing on self in your relationship, my relationship with God. Because automatically he's just been able to experience a better wife, a more mature wife. So now when there are critical conversations, I'm not fighting. He's not fighting a fool.
Right.
He's not fighting a woman that doesn't know herself. He's not fighting a woman that lacks self-control. He's not fighting a woman that just doesn't know. Like, if he confronts something, I'm like, I know. I'm actively working on it. Like, that's an intentional thing. So yeah, self-awareness has been, man, a huge thing. And even throughout life, as I talk to women, I use the word delusional. So I'm just going to ask you, do I have a safe place here with you?
You do. You do. This is a really safe place here.
Yeah, because I get straight to the punch. One thing when I talk to women, I think culturally we have been coddled, and we have been taught to kind of like, hey, we're the prize.
Right.
No matter what we do, no matter how we speak, no matter our mannerisms, no matter what it is, we are the prize. And it's like, no, you're not, sis. You're not a prize right now. You can be, but we got to get through
some stuff.
And this is, this is not to take away that we are all God's children, but we need healing, and we need to get to a place of knowing that, and accepting that, and going on that journey. And so, yeah, I got out of delusion and I stepped into self-awareness. So that's probably the biggest lesson. It's just him guiding me to a journey of being aware of myself.
That's really dope, because a lot of people, as you stated, you were young and how you came in, and you knew some things that, you were able to offer, but there was still immaturity there. And I think a lot of times as women, we stay in that immature space, just continuing to think that we're dope, we're the prize, we're the one that's got it all together, and I need you to come correct, and I need you to do this in this area, when really some of our stuff still do stink. And we really got to get it together and have a more of a awareness that we have stuff to work on. Like you stated, is definitely something that that we as women and women of God in particular really do need to do. Now, with that stated, now that's something that you've learn from being married. And that kind of leads me into my next question, which I don't think you'll have a problem with it. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? Like, what 3 characteristics would you describe yourself as you have matured?
Well, that will be one, self-aware. I'm just going to say the first thing that comes to my mind, because I want to think deeply and give y'all a real deep answer, but I would say self-aware, gracious, and feminine. Okay,
yes. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, so gracious, when you say gracious, are you saying like gracious with others, extending that grace and things of that nature?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Myself. Yes. Being gracious towards myself has been, so growing up in church and dealing with a religious spirit taught me to be judgmental. It taught me to, like I said, look at my friend's speck and not pay attention to my own log. And because I had this mentality and this way of being, I was harsh and arrogant at times. And then I fell. Then I went through my backsliding stages. Then I needed love, and I needed someone to be like, hey, are you good? I'm like, oh, this grace thing, it's kind of both ways. Like, I need it now. And that's a lot of times, it's just like the kid doesn't learn to stop touching the stove until they get burnt. It's the same concept. Like, you don't know to give grace until you actually really, really need it. And it's, I just believe in you reap what you sow. And so because I am overly pouring grace into myself as a woman and as a mom, not being overcritical with me, not putting so many high expectations on myself, I extend the same to others. And I believe in, all women are created to be nurturers. And a big part of nurturing, I believe, is a woman that knows how to feed her environment and encourage growth. And one of those ways of encouraging growth is by being gracious, by extending grace to people and allowing people to be human, allowing people to have their moments, and not giving church responses and not giving what sounds good, but just being a nurturer, being a gracious woman. And again, it's first to myself. It's giving myself the room to not have it together, to want to sleep, to be lazy, to not clean, to there are literal moments where I'll see something that I need to do and I'm like, no, don't do it. Just sit down, soak in the tub. Like, no, you don't need to do that. And not even just that, even bigger things like healing and certain things where I'm like, I should be past this. I I should not still feel this type of pain. I shouldn't still be dealing with this abandonment. I shouldn't still be dealing with this anger. And it's like, who told me that? Like, who told me that I had to rush to a place and get to this ending? Like, that's right. I wouldn't need God if everything was done in a wrap. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm God then at this point. And so just knowing even in those bigger things, like, this is a journey. Yes. And I'm going to slow down and I'm going to be present in every single moment. I had a situation I don't know when it was, maybe a couple of weeks ago, just dealing with disappointment. And I was like, okay, I'm going to cry and I'm going to be sad for like 4 hours. I'm going to give myself a cool 4 hours to like feel this. This sucks. This is painful. This hurt my feelings. Right. I am disappointed. Like, I'm literally talking to myself on the way home from having like I said, a difficult conversation with someone. I'm like, that hurt. That was painful. Like, Takesha, that hurt you. You're offended right now, and feel that and be in that. And it's like, okay, now moving on. God help me. Like, just being present in every moment. I think it's connected to being gracious. It's like, in this moment you're hurt, and that's fine. In this moment you're angry, and that's fine. In this moment, this situation made you feel insecure. This made you double think. This made you doubt yourself. That's okay. Now let's slowly work up out of it. So just knowing I need it, and then knowing that others need it, and extending it from pouring into myself.
That is so good. I remember when I needed to extend that same grace, and the same story that you just shared that's my thing too. That's my testimony as well. And I really think if we really thought about what we do to others and the impact that we have with others. My husband always talks about having that personal relationship with God. And he was just like, you got to have that PR. You got to have that PR. But then you also have to give yourself some grace. And if Mary had a song called Forgive Me. And I didn't even realize that I was still holding myself back from things that I had done. And I had to extend myself that same grace, but still also needed to extend it to others. And so I think that is so encouraging. Hopefully other people are watching to know that you have to do that for yourself as well. But I'm going to kind of transition just a little bit. TK, I'm going to transition. I want you to tell us if you could think of a song right now that describes the season of your life right now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be, a gospel or Christian or just whatever describes the season you're in. What would that song be?
Okay, I need to just say what's on the top of my head instead of trying to find something else. No, I'm trying to find something else.
You trying to find that deep thing, huh?
I am trying to find the deep thing, but to be honest, it's Jill Scott. Living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. Yeah, that's my song.
I love that.
I feel like I'm in that. I feel like I'm in a very my life is really great, and it's not because it's perfect, but it's because I'm in alignment, and it feels golden. It feels like I hit the jackpot. Like I'm like, oh, I'm here. I am here. I am in the place where God has told me and showed me I needed to be.
Amen to that. Okay, I got another one. I might stump you on, but let's see. So you have your phone, right? You have your phone. Now you can only pick 3 apps that you can use for your phone completely. That ain't Let's say you have the talking part too, but let's just add 3 apps. Okay. What would you have on your phone? You only get 3.
My time blocking. My time blocking app. Oh, okay. 100%. Couldn't do life without them. Of course, my Bible app.
Okay.
And You said for the rest of my life?
For the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide between the voice recording one and picture or the camera, but I'll probably lean towards the camera for memories.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So
that's
time blocking app, Bible, and camera.
Okay. And you get to talk on the phone anyway, so hey.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I need.
There you go. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you just a couple of questions about as I told you, I kind of lightweight stalked you just a little bit. And I want to ask you a question about something that I think that really needs to come to, on other platforms as well with our viewers. And you were talking about how you would have friendships and you would always show up to be, the one that's, helping other people. I won't say rescuing, but always being there for other people. And then when you needed to be helped and have that support, you weren't there because you showed yourself to be the strong person. And so can you share with us, very briefly, like what all of that was about in regards to how we should show up with our friends and allow ourselves to not just be, taking on everyone's issues and kind of having that reciprocated?
Yes. Great question. I love this conversation. So first and foremost, I just want to encourage anyone that will watch this or listen to this to know that some of us are just gifted with the ability to heal with our words, to give words of wisdom, advice. Some of us just have a bigger capacity. It's a gift. It is not a curse. It is a gift. With that being said, we also need to know how to steward, manage, and discern when and who we are supposed to, and how long also we're supposed to give this gift out. That's the first part. The second part is, for me personally, that question to me, I take 100% accountability because I know in some of my pickings, I was choosing out of loneliness. I was choosing out of desperation. I was choosing out of codependency. And I think a lot of us can probably admit to this. Like it's almost like when you get with a dude, he ain't no good. Like he ain't no good, but he's fine. He got a bag, he got the car, he got the whatever. And you like, I know this is gonna end at. That's the same with friendships. Like most times as women, we can fairly quickly know, okay, this might be sis. Or it could be like, she might be pulling on me a lot. She might be calling me a lot with the same issues. And so I found myself kind of in a cycle of being friends with women who were just in a different journey with their walk with the Lord. Maybe, a baby in Christ is what the church people call it. But, just finding the Lord, just realizing their identity, just now knowing, a relationship with Christ. And with that being said, that comes also with a lot of backsliding, a lot of stumbling, a lot of what we all go through. And sometimes even in our mature walk, we still go through. And so I know now that I can only have relationships with other women that are where I'm at or above.
Right.
Because automatically, because I carry a gift of being able to nurture, being able to coach, being able to supply advice and all of these things, I'll just do that out of my gift.
Right.
And I presented myself as if I was her coach. And she's like, well, TK, you've been dropping the bars and you was talking on the phone with me all night. I've literally had, friends that I'm still good with now. Girl, why would we call you and you got all the advice? Why would we check on you and you're the one dropping wisdom to us?
Right.
Like, you know what to do. And I'm like, okay, so first and foremost, let's take accountability, ladies, for the type of women that we choose to allow in our inner circle. And stop showing up as the hero all the time. Like I've learned, even in some seasons, first of all, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned as I'm getting older is that people gonna do what people gonna do.
True.
Point blank period.
True.
People are going to do what they're going to do. Some people learn by bumping their head up against the wall real hard. Some people learn by seeing someone else bump their head up against the wall. And I try to be the one like, hey, I bumped my head. Don't do this. But it's something that I have realized I've operated in pride by thinking that I can change people. But also knowing that it's okay for me to be selective about who I allow to be in my close circle. So to answer the question in whole, I would say I wasn't holding myself accountable with the type of women I was choosing. I was choosing women that I knew were super new in their walk with the Lord, and that eventually it would get to a head where when I needed someone, they just don't have the capacity. Right. They just don't have it. Even being a married woman, like, there's just certain things that single women we're just not going to connect on. Like, it's just, you're not going to understand.
Exactly.
You're not going to understand that I can't talk on the phone with you. I got to get in the bed with my husband. I can't just dip out and be out all night. I got a curfew, baby. Like, I got to get home. And, it's a certain language that I look for with women. And I realized that a lot of women do it out of loneliness. And so I've realized that getting into a season of isolation, dipping off and like, okay, Lord, let me become all that I need to be so that I can attract those type of women. And also to be patient enough to wait. Like, just wait for the right type of women. So yeah, it's a real thing. Just showing up masculine. I got it. I know it all. I am, and not even just I know it all, but just being a woman that knows how to give and serve and have a servant's heart, that you can get used up real quick.
Real quick. That is such a dope perspective, because that's definitely not something that, that we really talk about as far as how am I showing up for my friends. And, you can see the thing that says, check on your strong friends, but who really checks on the strong friends? And it's because the weak ones still don't know how to be there for the strong ones. So, I mean, I definitely think that's dope.
And the strong ones also don't know how to be vulnerable to vocalize that they do need help. And that was something that like I said, taking accountability. So not just blaming the friends that will vocalize, like blaming them for not checking on me, but I also didn't tell them that I was in a rough season. I have the discernment to know my friend is going through something. I'm in my prayer closet enough, and the Lord will drop. There's been times, I just had this moment happen where the Lord kept dropping one of my friends' name in my spirit. And I was about to record my podcast, and I could not hit the record button. It was like the Lord was like, I'm going to make up a name, Sarah. Just Sarah. I'm like, God, what is going on? Called literally while I'm on the phone with her. She ends up being rushed to the hospital.
Wow.
Ends up having an emergency surgery. I'm talking to her for hours. Like, from that moment, she's like, oh my gosh, CK, it's happening. Like, what, can you come up? Like, literally just happened. I'm like, so I have the discernment. I'm in my prayer bag enough to be connected to the source so he can tell me and share with me things that my friends need. But everybody don't do that. And so for the ones that aren't really, because you also got to know there are friends that go to war for you. I'm in the war room for my friends. I'm listing out their names. I'm saying their names. Lord, lift up their marriage. Lord, if she dealing with infidelity issues, lift up her wound.
Right.
I lift up their intimacy, their whatever it is. I'm in that room. And so for the ones that aren't in that room, doesn't mean that, well, not in the room, but they aren't as intentional, as aggressive. I just got to open up and like, hey, sis, I am sad today.
Right.
Can you lift me up in prayer? I am dealing with depression. And I've learned to vocalize that. And it's something that I had to do away with, even as far as, the big things, the masculine energy, letting go of that wall. Like, no, I need help. I'm sad. Can y'all pray for me?
That's so good. That is so good. TK, I wish I could have you like on here for like maybe, I don't know, like 40 hours or something like that, because there's so much that's in you. And I'm so enjoying and loving this conversation. But I know that my viewers, as well as if yours listen as well, that they get this on a regular. So I just want you to give us on this platform, I want you to go ahead and tell us what your social media handles and all that good stuff so that they can actually get more. And I know that you have a coaching, one-on-one mentoring, coaching and stuff like that. So can you just real quick give us that before we get out of here and, so they can know where to find you?
Yes, ma'am. You can find me everywhere, TK Lee. That's YouTube, Instagram. I ain't on too much anything else, to be honest. On Facebook. Look, I'm still with the OGs on Facebook. TikTok a little bit, but mainly Instagram. But me and my husband have a podcast together, the Ewegbus. That is THEIWEGBUS. If you type in TK, you'll find me as well. But yes, we specifically for my portion on Tapping with TK, I am talking all things femininity, but doing it the righteous way. There's a big thing going around about thriving in your femininity, but they are leaving out the key point and the biggest bar of all, which is God, and being able to become more feminine by actually following the gems that are in the Word, giving practical tips on doing that. So letting go of the masculine energy, digging up and uprooting why we became that, and then practical steps moving forward. So yes, TK Lee on everything. Am I missing something else? What was the other thing?
I think that's Instagram, because that's where I follow you at. YouTube as well. So
and podcast, yes. Apple Music, Spotify, all the things that you listen to your podcast. Pull up, Pillow Talking with the Ewegbus is what me and my husband do. We talk all things relationships. We are a couple that did almost everything wrong, and the Lord still decided to bless us and redeem our marriage on the brink of divorce plenty of times, and He has absolutely restored our home, a blended family. So yeah, sis, if you listening, you got a husband with baby mamas. I've been through the baby mama drama. I know how to maneuver in that. Step kids, all the things, church hurt. We talk about everything. Threesomes, polygamy, all the things that is going on culturally. We want to attack those things with the Bible. We are not afraid of difficult conversations because we are the salt of the earth. And so we have no fear. So pull up.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, TK, for joining us. Until next time. Oh, well, before I even do that, make sure y'all are following us, on social media. To everyone that's viewing right now, please make sure that you tune in to LOL with Kiki Simone. That's QUISYMONE. And until next time, we'll holla.